So this is the second part to our properties of rectangles video. So you should have gotten number 4 checked out before you start on number 7 here. This is on the back of your paper. So let's look at it. It says RT, so this entire thing right here, that is equal to 5x minus 14. And then US, let me switch colors, US right here, that is 2x plus 10. So because this is focusing on just diagonals, I'm not going to look at any of the other properties that are just kind of extra. Here I am going to look at a couple of properties. First of all, my second property for my rectangles, and that does say that these diagonals are congruent, so they have to be set up equal to each other. So because of that, that is 2x plus 10. Actually, let me move a little bit more down. 2x plus 10 I'm going to set that equal to 5x minus 14. Here we do our normal algebra process, so I'm going to start by moving my smallest variable. In this case, oh my goodness, in this case it is 2x, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. This is going to cancel. This 10 is going to drop down, so I'm going to say 10 is equal to 5 minus 2, that is 3x, minus 14. Everything that we see is happening to x, I have to do the opposite in order to isolate it. So I'm going to add 14 to both sides. We do end up with 24 is equal to 3x. And when we divide both sides by 3, we get x being equal to 8. However, we weren't looking for x, we are looking for VT. So VT is this second half of RT. And so what I can do is plug in what I got for my x into that equation. Let me erase this right here. So I know that I'm having so much trouble with this pen. Let's look. Let's see if it's working now. So RT is equal to 5x minus 14. What I do here is I replace this x. So I'm going to say 5 times 8 minus 14. And that will be equal to, I think, 26. So I know that RT in its totality equals 26. So again, when I'm given my entire diagonal, I divide by 2 in order for me to get half of my diagonal. So in this case, VT will be equal to number 13. I want you guys to do number 8. Be real careful of what they're asking you. When you have done that, go to Ms. Rojano, Ms. Battle, or your sub so they can check off your work, and then let's move on to our next problem. Once you got your number 8 right, let's move on to number 11. So number 11, I am being focused on my angles. So because this is a rectangle, I'm just going to go ahead and draw in those 90-degree angles right here, right there. So we are looking for the measure of angle JHI. So we are looking for JHI. We are looking for this angle right here. So I am given the 2 halves of this 90-degree angle here, which means if I take those 2 and add them up, it should be equal to 90 degrees, which is why that is how I'm going to set that up. So I'm going to say 3x plus 2 is equal to 12, just kidding, no it's not. 3x plus 2 plus our second angle, which is 12x minus 17, that together is equal to 90 degrees. So here the first step that we should do is combine our like terms. So I have two x's right here. They should go together. And then I have two separate numbers, so plus 2 and minus 17. So before we move anything, I'm going to combine those. And so I'm going to say 15x plus 12. 15x, and then that's going to be negative 17 plus 2, that's minus 15. I'm going to set that equal to 90 degrees still. And so in order to isolate x, I am going to go ahead and add 15 to both sides. This ends up being 15x is equal to 105. And when I divide both sides by 15, my x ends up being 7. But of course, we are not done. We do have to find the measure of angle GHI, or JHI, my bad. So what we can do is we can look at our other angle theorems and see which one of those helps us. Our first angle theorem, or our angle property of rectangles, does say that the opposite sides are parallel, and because of that, I know that I can use my alternate interior angles in order to solve them. So alternate interior does let me know that this angle right here, let me grab a new color. This angle right here, if we go across its diagonal on the other side, those two should be congruent. Therefore, if I find this angle, then this angle is real easy to figure out because it's the exact same thing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 3x plus 2. And then I'm going to substitute the x that I know. So I'm going to say 3 times 7 plus 2. That does give me 23. So I know this angle right here ends up being 23 degrees, which of course the alternate interior is also congruent. So that is also 23. So I do want you guys to do number 12 and have your answer checked by Mr. Hunnell, Miss Battle, or my sub. That should be all for today once you get those checked off. I will see you tomorrow whenever we do have a quiz.